Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing very well. So today I'm here to do another full face of, I seem to be doing a lot of these quite recently, but I think it's because when I'm buying certain products I'm like, oh, I have pretty much a full face, so I thought I would do a video for you guys. So for the first time I'm doing a full face of Collection makeup. So if you don't know anything about Collection, they are a brand in the UK that you can purchase in essentially like high street and drugstore, and everything is pretty much under £10. A lot of their products are under £5. So if you're looking for makeup on a budget, Collection is a fantastic brand to kind of have a look at. Back in the day they kind of used to be known as like, you know, those little brands where you're just like, oh okay, it's super cheap, it's like crappy makeup. Whereas to be honest now, I think they've really upped their game in the past like few years. So yeah, I'm just gonna put on the makeup. I don't have there's like maybe 1 or 2 items that are not part of Collection, but that's because I don't have any of those products. But everything is kind of a bit older. I have 2 new products that I am trying and I'm really excited to try. So let's go on with the primer first. So I have the primer, which is the Collection I'm going to be saying that a lot, Prime and Ready primer. So I have used this for so many years, and I think this might be the second one that I have purchased because I just really like the way that the primer feels. So like I said, this is the Prime and Ready. So this is a mattifying pore minimizer, and I do have really big pores when it comes to my annoying face, but I mean I really like the way that this feels because it is extremely soft. Like it is so soft. It's a nice clear gel consistency, because you know a lot of primers these days are either like, you know, shimmer primers or, you know, just kind of like colourful primers. You know, there's a lot of those out there these days, whereas this one is just nice and simple. I think it only costs maybe £2.50 or £3. It's been a while since I've purchased it, but like I've mentioned, pretty much all of their products bar like maybe a small handful are all under £5, and everything is definitely under £10. And when it comes to this primer, and even though like I said this is the second one that I've purchased, I still really like the way it feels. It's just really just soft. And of course I'm just using one of my Spectrum brushes. This is meant to be a foundation brush, but I use it for primer because I don't like using my hands. Like I've mentioned this a few times before. So let's go on to foundation. Now this is a foundation obviously that I've used many times on my channel, and Collection recently came out with a new formula. I haven't tried it yet, I haven't purchased it. I should have purchased it, but I thought let me get through this one first and then I'll try the other one, because I mean I have been using it quite a lot. I don't think there's like a crazy amount left, but it's still quite a lot. And this is in the shade Fair 5. I kind of feel like this might be a little bit too dark for me, even though it's fair, but I have been using it a lot, and if you do follow me kind of on my channel you'll know that I do use it a lot. And the concealer, I don't have their concealer, even though they came out with new concealers as well, although it wasn't that long ago that this foundation actually came out. So it's been at least a year and a bit since I purchased this foundation and it came out, because I purchased it in Superdrug, and I remember purchasing it and kind of going, oh, let's try Collection out because it looked like an interesting foundation, to be honest, and I really like it. I think it's really good coverage. It's kind of, as you can see, I do obviously have a lot of red, and this does help conceal it like a lot. So this is meant to be a 16-hour wear foundation. I don't test 15 hours, 16 hours. I barely wear makeup for a couple of hours these days, honestly. Like if it's the weekend and I'm just relaxing at home, I do wear my makeup a little bit longer, but that doesn't really help that much because I'm not physically going anywhere to test it out. I'm just at home like most of us are. But I really like the way that this kind of the finish is. Like I said, it is a matte foundation. I don't know if their new one is meant to be any different from this one. I haven't really heard much about it apart from it being new. So maybe in like a few weeks or so I will give it a go just to kind of see what it's like, and I'll pick up the concealer as well. I don't know if I mentioned this is one of their kind of more more expensive products. This is like £6.50 for a foundation, whereas to be honest, obviously £6.50 is really good for a foundation, but when you look at as a brand for collection, it's a bit on the higher price, but I still really recommend it. Like, I've put on way too much, like I squirted like way too much on my hand, and I've managed to use it all up, so I was a bit kind of afraid that I would have to discard some of it, but it's come out really nicely and it is pretty mattifying, so I do like it. What else is water resistant? Don't really know about that. I haven't jumped in any pools recently with it on, so I'm not sure about that. Transfer proof, full coverage. I mean, yeah, it's pretty full coverage, and if you're not looking to spend a lot of money on a foundation, I really recommend this one. For concealer, I'm just going in with my Revolution Eye Concealer because I don't have the new concealer, which is fine. It's one of the only products that I don't have part of collection. Like I mentioned, with the new kind of sets that they came out with, they do have a concealer. Haven't tried it, so I can't give my thoughts, I'm afraid, but I think the concealer are around £5, so again, really affordable, really good. The shade range I don't think is amazing, but it still has, you know, really good coverage, even when it comes to like the foundation itself. I'm not sure how many they have altogether, but I think it's that whole, oh, we have about 15 shades and about 10 of them are light shades and the other are dark. So, you know, a lot of brands still have these problems. I'm not justifying it, I'm not on their side or anything, because I'm definitely not. But I do feel like a lot of brands, especially like the cheaper ones, seem to be doing a lot better than maybe the high-end ones. So let's go on to setting powder, and the only powder that I have is the Lasting Perfection kind of loose powder. So this is part of like this series, I guess, the little collection, and this one I do really like. I do use it a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of like kind of like powder foundation, because I do prefer like a solid powder, because with these powders it will go everywhere. But again, this is really nice. I know it's like a lot of mattifying stuff going on my face, and I have like the driest face ever, but I feel like it really helps with my skin and it really locks everything in, and you do get quite a lot in there as well. Like, I've been using it quite a lot. I'm just gonna even it out a bit, but there is a lot of product in here, and I'm pretty sure this is also maybe £5 for this for the powder. So I do really recommend it. This is just, I think it's just in the shade Translucent. Let me check, because it's going to be on the bottom and I don't want to tip it over. Yeah, this is transparent, so again, it's going to work for all skin tones. I believe they have banana powder and a couple of other ones as well, but I just really prefer the translucent one because it is part of their mattifying powders. So I'm going to go on to highlighter now, because I don't have a blush, but I thought I could just incorporate the two together. I have used this previously. I'm not the biggest fan because it's just not the biggest like kind of shine for me when it comes to highlighters. When I use highlighters, I like to use one that really beam. This one is okay. So this is a Gorgeous Glow highlighter in the shade Rose. So again, I could probably use it as a blush as well, but obviously it's more meant to be a highlighter. So I'm just taking my Morphe brush and just gonna see if I can get anything on my face, because like I mentioned, this is not the most pigmented highlighter. It's still quite nice, but like honestly, I'm digging in there. There's nothing. Oh dear. And you guys know, if you know me, you know I love a good highlighter. This is just extremely subtle and it's quite powdery. This is actually one of their kind of newer releases as well, when the other kind of Lasting Perfection stuff came out. This is not, it's not that good. I mean, I was proper going for it, and you can see a slight glow here. It's just not for me, and I think this highlighter is probably around the £4, £5 mark. not worth it as much. I mean, a lot of the collection products are very hit and miss, so not everything is gonna, it's just like with most brands, not everything is gonna be perfect. But let's go on to a new product because I'm very excited. They have recently come out with eyeshadow palettes, and I don't think I've ever seen collection do a proper eyeshadow palette before. So when I saw that they came out with some, I was like a hawk. I was looking around, so I went to a Boots and I found it. So I purchased the Ibiza Sunset palette, and this is like just something nice and simple. And for me, of course, you've got some reds and you've got some shimmers, so for me that was perfect. I think it was about $4.50 or $6.50. It was one of those prices, but it wasn't crazy expensive. So again, I'm just going to put these on, and you do have the names on the back, which is quite cool. They do have a kind of selection of different types of like colours, but there are a lot more kind of nudie tones as opposed to colourful tones. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go in with this corner one, which is called Tipsy. And I mean, this probably falls right into the aesthetic of Ibiza. So I'm just going to put that into my crease, and just, there's no mirror, it's just a clear bit of plastic clearly. So I'm going to just get my mirror and just get a bit closer. And again, it's nice. I'm not going to go so crazy because I want to try and use as many shades as I can, and not look super crazy. But let's go on to this side. So far there's no patchiness, there's no problems with like blending. Quite surprised, especially with a lot of these, I don't know if you cast them as, they're not an indie brand, but brands that are not on the higher end. And that's what I like about Boots and Superdrug as well. They always have such a mixture, especially when it comes to their cheaper range. So they do have like MUA and they do have Elf. Even though Elf is very like on the middle ground, it's still classed as kind of a high street brand. But then a lot of places like Boots do have a lot of high-end things now, like Fenty and MAC and Huda Beauty and stuff like that, which is quite surprising but still quite interesting at the same time. I'm going to go in next with this lighter one just here, which is called, hang on, I don't like the way that this is formatted. So actually the first shade was called Mumbo, and then the next one is called DJ. So let's kind of have a look. I'm going to put that on the top and see how it goes. Sorry, my phone is just being annoying. So let's just bring that on the top here. So it's a bit, oh, it's very nice. So it's a bit darker. That's come out really nicely. And I'm using just one of my Elf crease brushes. I know it's probably not used for that, but that's fine. Just gonna blend it in. Okay, that is looking really nice. So I'm going to go onto a shimmer now, because why not? We have 3 selections for a shimmer, so I might go in with this middle one just here because it's a little bit darker and we're going to be a bit edgy. So just blend that. It's picked up a lot of products, so far I'm really liking this eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to kind of blend it in. Ooh, it's a nice copper shade. So it's going to get a bit more. That is very nice. I really like that. Yeah, I'm really surprised. Not in like, oh wow, I'm so surprised. Obviously, like I've mentioned, like I'm obviously trying not to be offensive towards these brands. But sometimes you can be very surprised at how pigmented a lot of products can be. And fantastic. So I think that's it for the eyeshadow, and I don't know if I want to add a liner. I've got 2 different liners. I've got a black liner and I've got a white liner. I'm not going to use the white one, I just bought it just to kind of show you guys. But the collection liners are really good. They tend to be around £1.50 or even £2 at the most. and the nibs are fantastic. Like I'm just gonna put it on, why not? So I'm just gonna make a bit of a thick liner, and yeah. Okay. And what I like about this brush as well, it's just very like just straight, because obviously a lot of pens these days tend to be quite like, you know, you very bendy and stuff, but this you have a lot more control, and it's a very, very black liner, so that's perfect. Yeah, there's like no problems in that whatsoever. And then one of the kind of other new products I got, it's not amazing, but I got it free, because when you spend over like, I think it's over £5, you get a free product. So it's like a colour lash, all day wear colour lash, but this is just like clear, and it was free. So I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna put it on. It's not gonna do anything to my eyelashes apart from maybe just lengthen them a little bit, but it's just clear. And because I don't have another mascara, I'm just gonna put it on. There's nothing I can really say about a coloured, like a clear mascara, apart from it's clear, basically. And so now, one of the products that I'm looking forward to the most using is obviously the lips now. They recently came out with some matte lipsticks. So Collection have recently, not actually, sorry, they've previously had like these kind of cream liquid lipsticks, which are super nice. They last all day, but recently they've just came out with their lasting matte liquid lipsticks, and I'm just so happy that they're out. I don't know why I'm so excited about like clear liquid lipstick, but this is in the shade Fierce. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go off camera and do it, because I'm not gonna spend all day putting my lips on, so I'll be right back. Okay, so as usual, I've gone over my actual lips, but it's fine. I'm going to stand back so you can actually see it look a bit better. But yeah, this is the kind of matte lipstick. It's still a little bit wet and it feels a little bit patchy, but I feel like when it does dry down, it will feel quite nice, because doesn't feel like there's much on there. But yeah, this is my finished look using a full face of Collection products, and the eyes probably have to be my favourite products, because I had no problems with these whatsoever, and they're under £10, maybe under £5. I need to double check, but I really like this palette. And again, Collection are a brand that you wouldn't think would do amazing makeup, no offense, because they're such low prices. But for me, sometimes the lowest price of products are probably always going to be the best ones. But yeah, this is my finished look. I do really like it. I'll be keeping it on for a while. Because why not? But yeah, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Do not forget to follow me on my social medias, because I'm always active on there. And I hope you're doing well, you're happy, you're safe and you're healthy, and I'll see you soon. Bye.